Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Good morning and good health. Hello, Lisa Stanford. How are you today? And Concrete Rose. Lisa Stanford, good health, and Concrete Rose, good health. How are you guys doing today? And what are you doing today? What's your game plan for Friday? Oh, I don't have my glasses. Shit. All right, let me get my glasses. Okay. I am going to wash my hair today. Because to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time I washed my hair. This coming from a person that washes their hair way too often. Like, people are like, stop washing your hair so often, but I really cannot help myself. However, I ordered Katam to make my hair purple, and then I ordered purple henna, and I ordered it from Esty. And Esty takes a little longer to get here. And so I figured, well, I'm not going to wash my hair and then wash it again. Like, that didn't make sense. So I figured I'd wait. So I did. Then when it got here, it was too cold to wash my hair, right? Like, way too cold to wash my hair. I didn't like that. So I was like, I'm going to wait, which I did. And then now I could wash my hair, but now I'm looking for hair dye to wash the gray out, because I'm not sure if the henna is going to take care of the gray, but I know the dye will. So why is it that there is no brown dye anywhere? Brown, black, brown, brown. There's only red hue dye, and I can't use the red because it could interfere with the purple. There's red, there's burgundy, there's brownish red, there's everything had red in it. And I was like, I cannot do that. So now I've got to search all over to find, and I can only search on Wednesdays, right? Because I don't have a car, right? I don't live like you. I can't go to CVS or Walmart or your grocery store, right? That doesn't work for me, right? So I have to be like, okay, next Wednesday, I'll go to this store. Nothing. Okay, next Wednesday, I'll go to the store. It's been weeks, people. I don't want to tell you. It's been weeks, right? So then I finally found the dye. And I'm going to dye my hair today. But I'm only dyeing the an inch worth of the front. So I brought an $11 dye to only do an inch of the front. That's it. That's it. I'm wasting money, and I know it. I should have brought henna black. See, I didn't buy the henna black because I knew I could find dye. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. Let me say hello to everybody, and then we have to talk about my date last night. Let's was terrible. I gotta get my cup of Malik. My cup of Malik is the only thing that's gonna save me right now. The only thing that's gonna save me is my cup of Malik. I didn't taste it, so let me taste it. And I put turmeric in it. Okay, not bad. Not bad. I put turmeric. I put cinnamon in my coffee every day. Today I put turmeric in it. I used to put turmeric in it, so I'm going back to putting turmeric in it. Kind of changes the flavor a little, turmeric. Tomorrow I'll put turmeric, nutmeg, and cinnamon. I only drink 1 cup a day. All right. Oh, this isn't ready, so I can't put this on because it's not ready, which is weird. Is it? Is it charging though? Let's see if it's charging. I think I'm having problems. Does anybody go through charges a lot? Okay, it's working. I go through charges like, this is the longest that I didn't have to buy a new charger. Like, this is the longest, so it might have been like 6 months. But I go through charges a lot. Let me say good morning to everyone. Good health, Magic Mermaid. How are you? Good health, Irie, Allegro. Good health. Haven't seen you in a while. Good health, Sandra Joe. Mother of Brats. Good morning and good health. Lovely, says Lisa. Aw. Sabrina Khan. Hello, sweetie. Hi, Tracy. Good health, everyone. Good health. Did anyone come through with the Manuka honey? I forgot who was supposed to send it. I forgot who was supposed to send it. Good morning and good health to everyone. Just got in from my walk, trying to stay on track with weight loss. I love that, Irie. I'm going to do a midday exercise and then walk this evening, but I'm so proud of you. Good for you. Continue writing. What does that mean, Lisa? Are you continuing writing? I thought you want to do something with writing. Good morning and good health, says Tiffany Henderson. Good morning, good health, says Dee Dee Scott. Aw, I use henna and it works on my gray. Oh. But I use red. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Olea is really good. Also works with my henna hair. Olea is an olive-based hair dye by Garnier. Oh, and less messy. Oh, even more permanent. Ew. I think I got Garnier. I think I did get that. Date? Well. Let me go get my little snack for this story. Girl. Good morning, Yaya. Oh, I love the name Yaya. Good morning. I even flip back and forth from henna to olea. I will come through with the honey next month. Oh, thank you. Are you doing readings today? Of course. Of course. I didn't put the banner up. There's the banner, sweetie. 213-458-7408. Yes. Now, you might get a reading with me depending upon when I dye my hair. You might get a reading with me with dye in my hair and a plastic bag over my head. But y'all do readings in your cars now. So don't worry about how I look. Don't worry about me. Because I might have a plastic bag and a bonnet and some dye coming through. Don't worry about me because y'all be doing readings in your bedrooms with me. In your bed, your pantries, your closets, your garages. That's my Zoom readings. It's hilarious. And they always go, oh, please forgive me. I was like, this is normal for me. Like, please forgive for where I am. No, sweetie, no. This is just a new version. This is normal for me. Oh, my long overdue book. I still don't know what that means, that you're writing, right? Oh, look at this. Oh, Kaloob. Hi. I love when my messages come through. Thank you, the men that come through. Kaloob, are you new to me? Good morning, Miss Tracy, he says. Or have you been in a closet watching me? Because I know I get a lot of closet, folks. A lot. I don't even care. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Kaloob. Thank you. Concrete Rose is laughing. I don't even know what I said was funny. Laugh out loud screaming. That is totally fine. I love it. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. Funny, but not funny. Yeah. Good day to spill the tea. I want to hear about this date. Mm-hmm. No, I have many readings from you. Oh, you've had many readings from me? See, I don't even record the readings in my memory. You know what everybody says? Everybody says, do you remember when we talked about, like, oh no. They're like, oh my God, you have so many readings. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I do remember the story once we get back into it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're the one that, and they're like, yeah. I was like, yeah. Here, sometimes I get people that do this to me. And by the way, I hate this. Hate it with a passion. When they go, you don't remember, Tracy. You don't remember. I hate that, right? I'm not sleeping with you, right? I'm not up your ass, right? I don't know the color of your toenails, right? Right? So there's how? Don't make me remember something. And you called me 6 months ago. You don't you girl, you gotta remember. No. And I swear, I go, I do just like this. I go, no. Nothing. And then they start telling me the story and they go, nothing. Blank. So, why don't we just start over? Let's just start as if you and I never talked. The shit that I go through, you guys don't know. It's a one-man show over here. And there's nobody to share it with, right? It's not like I can be like, oh my God, this one was a doozy. Nothing. No one. Because it's all private, right? All right. Whew. Yes, I'm writing. Thank you. Good morning, Michelle Bell. Good morning. Yes, since 2017, and I'm from California. What? Oh, he's been with me. This ain't new. He's been with me. What part of California, sweetie? Absolutely no way to retain. No way. Kaloob, right? Morning, Nia. Everyone. Oh, Royal Purple Tracy. Yes, I had to be royal today. I definitely had to get another one in the upcoming weeks. I'm Riverside. Okay, I'm always here. So relax. Good morning and happy Friday, Janine, with the purple hearts and the champagne. And I didn't get up. Why is this happening to me? Thank you, Alana. Alana's getting her reading today. I don't know what to do. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just leave one on to charge. All right. Date night. Guys. Okay. So I went on a date last night to go to bingo, right? The big prize is $3,000, guys. $3,000. So I found out last night, starts out at 50, 125. Then there's a 50-50 ticket that I did not know about. and 2 people win $500. I'd have been happy with the $500, but I didn't know about the ticket. And then there's the $3,000 prize, right? Now, I found a dice, right? Just found it on the floor, right? And I believe in, spiritual stuff. So I picked up the dice and I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to win something. I didn't like the big pot. I don't know, but I think I'm going to win something because the dice showed me, right, that I'm going to win something, right? So we get there. It started out with the sun blinding the driver, like blinding. Cops are in front of us. And by the way, cops are not the cops that y'all get in the States. No. These cops are hella nice. Hella nice. They look all mean and big and bad, and they talk all mean and big and bad. Hella nice. It's a pleasure to have these type of cops out here, right? Because I'm like mad at the cops. So when I look at a cop, black or otherwise, I'm like, And they're like, good morning, ma'am. And I was like, oh, wait, me? Good morning. Hi, good morning, right? Because I get confused where I am sometimes. I don't know. I woke up the other day and I really forgot I was in St. Croix. Like I really had to just lay in bed and figure out where I was. Doesn't really matter. I felt like I was in Florida though. I don't know why. Doesn't really matter, right? So the sun blinds him and he starts to swirl. But I'm really, really good in a panic situation. So I go, slow down, pull over. And I said, what happened? And he goes, the sun really blinds me. I just couldn't see. And I said, that's okay. I said, when that happens, slow down. Because in the Caribbean, there's no such thing as a straight road. None. There's the road and then there's a cliff. At any given moment, there's a cliff. So I'd rather see him slow down and back up traffic until he, regains his bearings, right? So I was like, whenever that happens, just slow down, almost to a halt until you could see again. I don't care if it's in the middle of the road. Put your blinkers on and slow down because you can't necessarily pull over if you're by yourself because you'll fall off a cliff. But I was there. So I was like, slow down, pull over. And I was like, what happened? He's like, I couldn't see. And I was like, that's okay. That's okay. I'm a nurturer, right? I nurture, right? I'm like, that's okay. That's okay. And then I gave him some advice, right? Because that's my job, right? To give you some advice, right? And then I was like, are you okay? And he goes, yes. And I was like, okay, you could drive now. So he begins to drive again, and we're still behind the cops. And in my mind, I'm thinking, the cops don't see this dude swerving? Because in the States, we don't even need to swerve. You just got to have a air freshener on, and they pull you over and shoot you. The cops don't see him swerving? Like, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, pull him over. Like, give him a chance to breathe. You okay? Etc. No. By the way, there's no such thing as a breathalyzer. No. They don't try to figure out if you're drunk. They're not going to be like, here, breathe into this. No. They're going to be like, you drunk? The person's going to say no, and they're going to say, you're arrested. Tell the judge about it later. We don't care. We're going to arrest you. By the way, this town is full of drunks. Full of Caribbeans are just drunks. I didn't know this. If you want to drink, come to the Caribbean. They have a drinking problem here. No lies. I'm not lying on the Caribbean people. It is what it is. Right? Okay. We finally get to our destination, which he's taken to this destination before on Monday, but it was closed. But we passed by a car mechanic place, right? And the last time I said to him, I said, "Oh, a car mechanic place. I think car mechanic, I think sell cars, right?" He didn't say nothing the last time. And he knows that I'm looking for a car, right? I know this guy. I know him. So he knows that I'm looking for a car aggressively now. Before it was like a joke, but now it's like aggressively. Says nothing to me. We get to the destination, it's closed, right? That's the first time. So the guy was like, Tuesday, da da blah blah blah, and he goes, they have, Wednesdays, this Friday is karaoke, Thursdays is bingo. So I was like, oh, bring me back for bingo. I don't care, bring me back for bingo. And he goes, you want to go to bingo? And I said, yes. We go to bingo. And as we're going into bingo, this woman crashes her car with another parked car. When she crashed, listen when God shows up. When she crashed, we saw her. She came down, backed up, boom, she crashes her bumper, right? The mechanic from the last time comes out. And she starts hitting his car. And she goes, there's no damage, there's no damage. He wasn't worried. He's a mechanic. He was like, that's okay. He said, but there's damage on your car. And she goes, yeah, I got insurance. She just wants to get into bingo. She was hot to get into bingo. She goes, don't worry, I have insurance. So he just kind of pushed it back up for her. And it looked like it was aligned, but you could still tell that she did damage because the alignment was off the bumper. You could tell, but it didn't really look that way either. So I said to my date, I said, she don't even need to report this. I wouldn't even tell my insurance company this happened. Right? For some reason, we're walking to the place, but then my date turns around. When I turn around, he's just not there. Right? I can't go in by myself, guys. I don't know the environment. So I wait for my date. I'm at the door. I'm just holding the door open for everybody else to come in. He slowly makes his way back to me. And I know that this is the start of the problem. I already know this, right? Because he didn't walk in with me. So I already knew there's a problem, right? He catches up to me. And then he says, you could sit anywhere. Because it was empty at first. And I was like, well, I don't know where anywhere means. I was like, you pick a place to sit. Like, and I had to explain to him, I've never been here, so I need you to help me. I was like, it feels like you think I've been here before. I've never been here. So he doesn't treat me any better. He goes, listen, you could sit anywhere and you could get something to eat. Now, when you mention food with me, what happens, people? I perk up. You mention food, bet. I don't even need to do bingo anymore, right? So I say to him, where's the food? I don't even want to sit down. I need to know where the food is because I was there early enough. So I need to get the pick of the picks, right? I don't know what happened with the food. We go out to the food and I say, like, I'm confused, right? Why aren't you helping me? And he's like, just ask her what's on the menu. And I'm like, you ask her what's on the menu. I don't know these people. There's a guy there that hears me complaining. And he looks at him and he goes, let me tell you what's on the menu. And I was like, please do. And he starts to tell me about, pork chops and ribs and fried fish and Johnny cake and shrimp and all kinds of other things, right? And I was like, I was so nervous by this time because you mean I get all these choices? I was like, oh my God, why is my breast lopsided? I hate that. I was like, oh my God. So there was two different types of fish. One fish was $13, another fish was $5, but it was the fried fish, and I was, and then they don't help any, right? The women behind. No one is trying to help me, right? So it's not their fault, right? I got the idiot date with me that's supposed to be helping me, right? So I'm just nervous. I want everything on the menu. And then finally I go, okay, fried fish. And then I go, she goes, what else do you want? Meaning a side dish. And I go, what do you have? And she goes, whatever you want. This is Caribbean talk, right? There's no like, no, there's no fucking menu. This is how they talk. Like, what side dish do you want? What what do you have for side dish? And they go, whatever you want. Like nobody answers the question. So I go, breathe. And my mind I go, Tracy, breathe. But I'm acting like this with you. But when I was there, I was like, and in my mind, I'm going, breathe, breathe. Stop making yourself look stupid, right? And then I go, do you have French fries? And they go, yes. So they go to pour me some French fries, not like something like McDonald's would do, where it's measured, right? Mm-mm. She gives me some French fries, which was reasonable. And then she goes, do you want more? And I'm like, no, this is good. What do you mean, do you want more? Like, measure the French fries. No, these people are giving food away, right? And then I saw other people's plate, like, I guess people that they know and love, jam-packed, jam-packed their plates. And I was like, oh, these people got to know and love me from now on, because I need my plate jam-packed. But I didn't want to look a certain type of way, right? My first time here, right? We get back inside and we order drinks at the bar, right? So I had what's a Tanqueray and tonic, but I watched the girl pour the Tanqueray. This is the bottle, right? She poured, this is the cup. She poured the Tanqueray up to there. I'm watching her and I'm going, one, I'm here for money. Two, I'm not about to get drunk. And I got to know what B6 looks like, right? So I was like, I fucked up, right? Like I should have just asked for a Corona, but I really fucked up, right? And now I can't mix it, right? I can't. Once I took the Tanqueray, I had to go back, ask her for tonic water because she made it too strong. A little bit, like that much tonic water, all liquor. That's the other thing about the Caribbean. They love drinking people. You y'all know how you go to a club, $10, and they barely put liquor in it? Not here. Not here. They put liquor in your drinks. That's their jam. Liquor, right? So I see it, it's way too much. I asked her for tonic water to dilute it, but Tanqueray itself is strong, right? It's gin, right? Okay, Tanqueray is strong. So now I have to be really careful. Now I'm sipping it. I'm not really enjoying the drink, right? Because I also don't feel safe, right? So I say to the guy who's at the bar ordering the date, he sits there. And I said, well, aren't you coming over to sit with me? And he goes, just go find a seat. I'll be right there. Aren't you coming over to sit with me? He goes, I can't sit here because this woman that was sitting next to him already told him that the seat was taken. So he says, I can't sit here. But you go, find a seat, and I'll be there. Now, guys, I don't know this town. I've never been out on the town. Everyone that I've ever been out with, they like to drive me up and down the coast, right? One guy was like, I'm going to drive you up and down the coast. It's like the third time. And I says, no, you won't. I've seen it twice already. So thank you. No. And he goes, you don't want to drive? And I said, no. But if you want to take me out to eat, bet, right? But we never went on a date because I'm not allowing you to drive me up and down the coast. Done it twice. And then you have to go through the rainforest, right? And one guy groped me in the rainforest. Like, no, I'm not going through that again, right? Okay. I go to sit down and I'm heated, pissed as all get out. But I try to stay focused. I'm like, Tracey, you're here for the jackpot. You're here for the jackpot. Don't worry about him. But I have to keep eyes on him because I don't know if he's going to abandon me. I don't know what the attitude was. But he had big mad attitude, right? But I don't know what went wrong. I swear to God, I don't know what went wrong. I know when I bother somebody, I do it on purpose. No, I did nothing, right? So he finally comes over and he's kind of mute. Oh, no. Then I said to him, I said, are they getting the bingo cards? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, ooh. I was like, I'd like to get some cards. And he goes, well, go. And I go, we're on a date. Money. We're on a date, right? So he gives me $40, which I was happy with. I go and I only pick up 3 cards, right? Give him back a 20. And now I'm ready to do my thing, right? And then a guy comes over and it looked like they knew each other. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I start to do my bingo thing, right? The guy comes around. I don't know if you guys ever played bingo, but he comes around with what the game, to win the game, what it should look like, right? And he's like, this is what your game card should look like. This, right? I get bingo. I yell, bingo, bingo. And the guy goes, bingo once, bingo twice. And I was like, no, I'm coming. I go to move past him. He doesn't move in his chair. Like he's almost blocking. I didn't know this at the time, but he's almost blocking me to get to the bingo. He was helping me. He's almost blocking me to get to the bingo. And I was like, move in. Well, because I'm so excited. And I was like, move in. I was like, I don't know why he's not moving in. Move in. I get up to the place. Some other guy yells at me as I'm going. He's like, no. He's yelling at me, right? But I'm just like confused. I was like, I just got to get the bingo. Inside my head, this is what I'm doing. You know, outside, I was trying to be in control other than the fact that this guy wouldn't move in. Because by this time, the place is crowded, right? I get up there and the announcer goes, you owe me $5. You owe me $5. And I was like, why do I don't understand. Like, you're going to give me, because the jackpot was 50. I was like, you're going to give me 45? Do I get 45 instead of 50? At this point, it's free money. I don't give a fuck what anybody gives me. I'll go for the $45 now. So it's been reduced for some reason, right? I'm okay with that, right? And he goes, no, you did not win bingo. I was like, I didn't? And he goes, is this your, on the mic, the whole time he's on the mic, is this your first time? Yeah, my first time. He goes, I'm going to forgive the bingo. I'll forgive it. What happened? And he goes, it's supposed to be a C. Not, I did bingo one way. Not this. It's a C. I'm in the back of the room. These people heard me be obnoxious over $50. Now I gotta walk back with everybody going, I'm embarrassed. I'm completely embarrassed. I sit down and that's when everything starts to come together for me. And I looked at this young guy, like in his 30s, and I looked at the guy and I was like, is that what you were trying to tell me? And he goes, yes. And then my date, he looks at my date and he hits him. Very aggressive people out here. He hits him and he goes, you were supposed to help her. My date goes, I did not know. I did not know. I do not play bingo. Well, what happens after that? After that, I'm waiting for the $3,000. My attitude went zoom, shut down. I spend the whole time going, hours, 2 hours, because you idiot embarrassed me. If you didn't know the rules, let me know that you don't know the rules so I can ask somebody what the rules are. Like, just say, I've never been here before. Just say, maybe the rules have changed, but say something to let me know so I don't look like a goddamn idiot. So then the guy that he was sitting with turns out to be his cousin, but I don't know this yet, right? So I start talking to the guy that he's sitting with in terms of like, is there N35? Did you hear? Okay, good. Okay. When he says to me, this is my cousin, but he never introduces me to anybody. He goes, this is my cousin. The guy leans in and the guy says, that's your cousin. The very guy that said to him, why didn't you help her? Turns out is his cousin too, like immediate cousin. So this guy's now getting excited because he's around family. And he starts yelling. There's two cousins there. He starts, they were like together. And he starts yelling, come here, you know me, you know me. Then he went to the other guy. They're all at the same table. And he goes, come here. How do you know me? And he goes, the cousin goes, I know you. You don't know me. Now, when he says that, that kind of bothered me. And I don't know about your mind, people, but my mind goes somewhere. And I'm like, how does he know him, but him doesn't know he? And the other one was like, yeah, but the way he said it, he was like, yeah, I know you. Like with these dry eyes, like, yeah, I know you. And I'm like, what is happening? So then I'm thinking, I must be dating a pedophile. I have to be. Because they're not even saying, hey, uncle, it must be a pedophile. That's the way my mind goes. Hi, Colin. Why are you home so early? Aw, enjoy. Okay, bye. So cute. So cute. Okay, calm down, Tracy. Calm down. Okay. He's so cute. And he's in my age bracket. He's so cute. But he's my neighbor. Like, how can you date your neighbor? Hold on. In any case, I'm thinking I must be dating a pedophile. I have to be. There's no other thing that this could be possible. I'm surrounded by his cousins. They don't acknowledge him except to hit him, to tell him, why didn't you help her? Right? Okay. Now I really shut down because something's wrong here, right? He starts to perk up because he's around these cousins. He starts to drink, he starts to perk up, he likes the male camaraderie. They all take pictures together, and I was like, okay, he's happy. He's made me miserable, but he's happy. So now he's ready to talk to me. He's ready to grope me. Now, I don't know about women with big breasts, but I do have a question. When you have big boobs and it's like in somebody's face, do men just touch your boobs? Can you inform me? I'll ask Ifae. She's full breasted, right? Do they just touch you? Because that's what happens with my legs. I have full, big, thick thigh legs, right? We've talked about this. You've seen my goddamn legs. They're big, right? Big, I tell you, they're big. There's never a time that a man just doesn't grope my legs. Never. In my lifetime, I get groped. Driving, not driving, in my house, we're going back years now, in my house, in their house, they right to my knees and my thighs, right? So he's happy now, drinking. He's got this camaraderie with these cousins, and he expresses his happiness by groping me, right? So I can't say anything, right? Because I know the grope is going to take a second. So he goes over, right? So I'm measuring, but it happened like 5, 6 times last night because he's just happy, right? But I don't want to say anything. I'm not from here. I don't have my car. Like, safety is the rule of the day, right? I don't win the $3,000, right? We get to the, first of all, there was a 50-50 and a blue ticket. He doesn't tell me to get the blue ticket. I'm pissed. At least I could win $500, right? I believe in the odds, right? We get to the $3,000. I look over to him and I go, I'm going to win. It's my car money. And he laughs. No, he didn't laugh that time. He laughed when we talked about food. He goes, he rolls his eyes like I bothered him. He goes, why did you roll your eyes like that? And he goes, because how is it that you're going to win? And I said, the odds are in my favor as it is in anybody else's favor here. I'm just calling it in. But he kind of ruined me to get the money because I was like, ew, like it just was like icky. So, okay, I don't get the $3,000. Somebody gets the $3,000. Because if I had $3,000 and I get added to the money that I have, and that means I can get a nicer car, right? I'm sitting and the bingo hadn't started yet. And I said, the mechanic, I started thinking about the mechanic that came out to look at the girl's car because it turns out she had hit his car that he had parked there, right? And I'm thinking about the mechanic and I was like, Tracy, you should have asked him if he sold cars. And I was like, now that when you go out, he's going to be closed, right? Hold on, I want to show you something. I meant to get it, but hold on. So the bingo's over. Everybody's exiting. This jackass has perked up and now he wants to talk in my ear, but the music is still blasting. And I keep like turning away like that because he's ready to talk now. It's like 11 o'clock and he's like ready to talk. And I was like, listen, I can't talk because the music is right there. Right? When the people were here, it muffled the music. But now that nobody's here, the music's louder and we were literally behind it. So he goes, okay, let's move. The place is empty. They're literally cleaning up. So we go to move to a different table. And I say to him, why are we here? Why are we sitting here? And he goes, oh, I just want the traffic to leave. No such thing as traffic. There's no such thing as traffic. And I was like, And And he starts to talk, and then he really begins to grope me like this. So I put my hand over him, and I picked up his hand, and I put it in his lap, right? Because nobody's there now. Now, stop it, right? And he goes, oh, you upset with me. I was like, listen to me. It's late. Don't grope me like that. I don't like it. Stop. So then I say, I think if there's no more traffic, I think we can go. He says, I don't want to go. And I was like, we can sit in your taxi and talk, right? Because he wanted to still talk. I was like, we can sit in your taxi and talk. He pulls out his keys and he hands it to me. And he goes, you sit in the taxi. Fine. I take the keys. I open up the taxi door on my side. I should have gotten in and drove away. That would have been funnier, right? But I see the mechanic across the street, right? And the mechanic, I was like, why is he open? So I went up to him and I was like, hey, so do you sell cars? And he goes, no, I used to sell cars. I used to get them from New York City, but you know the prices. He's going on and on. And I was like, yeah, I understand. And he goes, what type of car are you looking for? I was like, I don't fuss over the type of car. This is the most money that I have. So I gave him my range. Of course, he went to the higher range, right? And he kind of looks at me and he goes, let me give you my business card. Call me tomorrow. So he goes, so I'm waiting. Like he walks away. Let me give you my business card. So I'm waiting. He goes, come. So I go in to his mechanic bright light back there. And he starts to talk about this, that, and the third with cars. And I'm just listening. And he goes, and I was like, you know, I thought about you when I was in bingo. I said I was trying to win $3,000 to add to bingo for my car. And he goes, and I go, but I didn't win. And he goes, I could find you a car. And I go, thank you. And he goes, I go, why are you open? And he goes, I'm always open. He goes, sometimes I don't go home till 4 or 5 in the morning. He goes, I do my best work at night. And I was like, oh, okay. Meanwhile, I'm taking my time, just having a conversation with him. He's telling me about the cars in New York and why he had to stop, blah, 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 blah. Gives me his business card and he will apologize because to write his number down because not in front. I'm measuring all of this because it's taking up time. And then he goes, what size do you wear? Right? So I go, large. And he goes, oh, I don't have a large. Why did he give me black now that I'm thinking about it? I should have picked another color. And then he goes, I don't have a large, right? And then he goes, I have extra large or I have medium, right? So I said, give me medium because I'm going to cut it up anyway. So don't worry about it, right? So he gives me a medium, and this is what the shirt says, right? Black History. I love that. And then on the back, it says his auto company with all of these logos and stuff, right? Really cool, right? So I got a medium, right? But I got a medium because I wanted to get a fucking medium, right? Okay. So he goes, call me tomorrow. So I said, okay. I was like, thank you. I was like, you know, God is so good. Because I was thinking that maybe I should have said something to you earlier. I said, God is so good. I leave and you see the date all inside his van looking for me. Every door is wide open, right? And so I come out and I was like, here's your keys. And I gave it to him. And he goes, where were you? Like concerned, like genuinely concerned. He's like, where were you? And I said, never, never leave a woman alone. Ever. I went to go talk to my friend, and my friend gave me a t-shirt. And he's such a nice guy, but you abandoned me. When you abandoned me, I had to find a new friend. I did not abandon you, Tracey. I did not abandon you. I was like, oh, you did. You did. So then we get in the car, right? And he's all like discombobulated and gets in the car and he goes to start it up. And I said, turn it off. Turn the car off. Let's sit here for a minute. And then I rammed him. I said, never in your life, in a day, in your lifetime, do you ever disrespect me. Ever. I came to this place to have fun, and you came miserable, which tells me that is your personality. I said, you're mean and you're miserable. I'm not miserable. I'm not. Oh, you are. And you're a fucking drunk. And the liquor came through his personality. He is a happy drunk, but that's not the point. He was happier once he got drunk. And I was like, and you're a drunk. I said, you are never allowed to disrespect me, ever. I said, did I ever give you any disrespect? Any? And he goes, you never disrespect me. Exactly. Don't you ever do that to me, ever again. If this ever happens again, which it might, right? Because I don't know if I'm going to get a car yet. And I got to go back to bingo next Thursday, right? So it might happen, right? You better be nice to me. You better be nice to me. You idiot. So then we go to drive home. He's drunk. Drunk. I only saw 2 cups, but he's drunk. And I'm like, God, will I get home safely? Is this the end? So I say to him, why don't we sit here for a while? I can sit here for 30 minutes. The mechanic guy doesn't close, right? Like, why don't we sit here for a while? He goes, I can drive. I'm like, well, you can't. So how do we drive home? Windy road, Caribbean? How do we drive home? I'm spending the whole time like this. Slow down. Slow down. No, slow down. And then the cars coming the opposite way, blind him. And then I say to him, when the cars are coming, like in the dark of night, you know when cars are coming. I said, when the cars are coming in the middle of the night, like in the opposite direction, slow down. Wait till they pass and then go. There's nobody on the fucking road. I was like, where are you running to? But I can't make him mad, right? Because he's drunk and driving. Oh my God. Tell me I don't need a car. Tell me I'm someone that needs their own damn car. So then I figured out, right? So I decided to make him mad and talk about my t-shirt. And the t-shirt kept making noise because it was wrapped in plastic, right? So I was like, well, at least I got my t-shirt. Hugging the t-shirt. So glad I have my t-shirt. I'm doing like this. So glad I have my t-shirt. But it was like making noise to keep reminding him, you're never going to be the end all. Who are you? Right? So we get close to the house. And then I was like, can you take, he can't drive, but I like, can you take me to the gas station? Because I don't have lunch for tomorrow. And I need like crackers and tuna fish from the gas station. By this time, he's just like doing whatever I say because I yelled at him. But that was my date, guys. That was my date. All right. I need a car. Period. Let me just see what everybody is saying. A date from hell. We see them legs. Thank you. Sounds like he needed liquid courage. He's that type. Yes. Plus, that's what I said to him. I said to the mechanic, he says, what kind of car are you looking for? I was like, listen, let's not do that. He says, foreign or what? I was like, listen, why would I get a foreign car? And when something goes wrong, you got to order it from the States. That means I'm waiting weeks and it's costly. I was like, no, foreign is out. I said, I want something decent, decent. That way I can come to you and get my car fixed. I said that to him. I love how you talk to men. Thank you. What does that mean? You don't lay a man out when he treats you wrong? Stella wants her time back. So true. I was so pissed. I was so pissed the day. Why is this happening? Damn it. Can you guys see me or hear me? It always happens. Let me try. Yes. Magic Mermaid. That's when I was like, God shows up. Yes. That's where God shows up. It was never about the date. It was about getting a car and finding a mechanic to take care of my car. Exactly. Ciao. All right. I'm going to bring on my favorite person. Big nope. Goodbye, sir. I'm going to bring on my favorite person. You guys are making a lot of comments, but I didn't look because I didn't want to stop the flow of telling you all the date. So the comments, a lot of the comments disappeared. Magic Mermaid goes, that's why they make glasses. I should tell him, why doesn't he wear glasses? I agree. All right, guys, we have on our favorite herbalist, life coach, Yoruba tradition teacher, the priestess, Priestess Ifae. Please join me in saying hello, hi, welcome to Priestess Ifae. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. What did she say? Oh, hold on. Wait. Wait. She gave me a comment. Oh, okay. Okay. Good, good, good. Okay. She's not ready. Okay. This is fine. She wrote me and I got confused. All right. Let me see if I get some. Like, yo. Hi, Lady EW. You know? Yes, I did find a good mechanic. What do you mean, Brina? You love how I talk to men. What does that mean? I I I think I talk to everyone the same way, right? I think I do. I don't have fear of men, right? I'm just like, listen, you're this, that, and the third. You know what I want more than anything? I want to just have a date where I could come back and say, had an amazing date. This is where we went. This is what we did. Oh my God, it was so much fun. Why can that never happen in the Caribbean? It happened in the States. Why can't it happen in the Caribbean? I mean, come on. What do you mean? Oh, direct and no BS. I just think I'm being myself. That's what I think, right? Oh, you mean like when I told him don't ever do something, like don't ever talk to me that way, blah, 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 blah. Why wouldn't I tell him? He has to learn. Why wouldn't I tell him, don't talk to me that way? Like, how you start out is how you end up. And the minute someone disrespects you and you're on a date or you're in an intimate relationship, you nip that. And you nip it to the point where you have to be willing to walk away, right? You get one time, because I don't know you. So you get one time to disrespect me. I'm not an arguing person. You are never going to be with me, and you're going to come home arguing with me. It's not my jam. All right? You're going to come home, I'm going to throw my legs over you, and we're going to have fun, talk, and laugh. That's what we're going to do. Anything more than that? No, I won't do it. I won't do it. I will not be in a relationship where I am arguing with someone. End it on a dime. Life is too short. Plus, the measure of love is not arguing. But a lot of people think that the measure of love is arguing. It's the only form of communication that some people believe in. And it is the worst form of communication, arguing. So when something like that happens, it tells me you don't have language skills. It tells me you don't know what to do with your emotions when you're upset. Either control it or speak effectively, you know? That's true. I mean, Magic Mermaid said even men with fathers aren't taught properly how to treat women. That's true, especially if they watch their fathers treat their women poorly. That's very true. That's very true. I'm more likely to just I'm more likely to just disappear than respond. Men are crazy. I'm always carrying protection. I have protection on me. I'm always carrying protection, but yeah, I avoid confrontation. I have protection on me, but it was the way it went down, right? Because I already showed him. He gave me his car keys. So I already showed him that I didn't need him, right? Because if in that moment, if the date had walked away, let's say he had a spare key, he had walked away or drove away, I had my mechanic, Bugsy, to help me. I'd be like, oh, my date left me. Can you take me home? I don't have no fear. I don't have fear of men. Because I measure their ability to hurt me, right? I measure. Like the time that I got caught in the rainforest and the guy groped me. This one groped me all over. And the whole while going, you want to be my date? You want to be my date? We date? And I was like, sure. Well, he's groping me in the goddamn rainforest where nobody is at. And I go, sure. And he's like, yeah? And I was like, of course. Sure. Until we got out the rainforest. Once we were on the highway, and I was like, okay, I'm safe. And I was like, so I think I'll just go straight home. But he was so happy because I had already committed to being in a relationship with him, right? First date, people. First date. This idiot is committing me to be in a relationship with him. And I just stayed calm the whole time. Sure. And then he took me to downtown Christiansted because I didn't eat. And you guys know me and food get along very well. And then he goes, I was like, I'm just going to walk around downtown Christiansted. And he goes, oh, I'll come back and I'll get you. He's like, I got to get some work done anyway. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't call him anymore. And then I found out he really is a stalker. A stalker. I really found out this guy is dangerous. So I can't even tell you how many women I've heard from. my hairdresser. There was a woman here that he has an apartment in the complex, but they don't let him in the complex anymore. He owns an apartment that he can't come in because he ran the poor girl out, knocking on her door every day. So, plus I tried to text him prior to going on this date, and he didn't respond to the texts. And I was like, this is weird, right? I measure it. I said, this is weird. If he's not responding to the text, something's wrong. Sure enough, I go on the date and something's wrong. And then I figured out he can't respond to texts because he might have some measure with the police. And so he doesn't want the record of the texts to show up. Oh, I'm back. Good. In any case, oh, child. It was a date from hell, guys. A date from effing hell. So I'm going to take a quick break. You guys don't go anywhere. I just want to heat up my coffee. Are we good? In 2 minutes, I'm going to bring Ifae on, and we're going to be on and cracking. But don't you go anywhere. This is a commercial break so I can heat up my coffee. If I can just find my face. There you go. Hold on. We're going to do the, oh, you know what happened? I'm going to put this back to charge. Don't leave me. And I like this one. Oh my God. Let's get over here. Okay, stop the acoustics. Hi. What is this about pre-date readings? Start promoting pre-date readings. Hi, Stephen. Hello. Hi, Lover. Good morning, Tracy. And the Priestess. And you're back. Yes. Okay. let's all welcome my favorite person, my favorite person in the whole wide world, Priestess Ifae. She is a life coach. She is a herbalist, spiritual herbalist, and she is a Yoruba traditional teacher. So let's bring her on. Yay! Welcome, everyone. Please welcome Priestess Ifae.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Doing? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I didn't get to exercise today, so I'm going to do a midday exercise.
Oh, that's okay. You know how it goes sometimes,
Yeah.
and we just allow ourselves grace, right?
Yes.
My morning didn't quite start the way I expected, but
What happened? Tell us. Well, I'm glad you're here, but what happened?
Well, my grandson is on winter break this week, right? And my daughter's been home all week, but she had to go into the office today. So I wanted to make sure he's still sleeping, but I wanted to make sure that his breakfast was prepared and all of that, so that when he wakes up, it's all there. Yeah. So yeah. So
you're such a good Grammy. You know what I would do with Ezra? I would make sure that the milk was at the level that he could reach in the refrigerator. The cereal in a bowl was out.
Oh my goodness, this takes me back to my party days with my kids.
And you sleep in. Well, the cartoons are keeping them company.
The cartoons are keeping them company, and the cereal and milk. Oh my God.
And Ezra was worse, right? Because he would never touch the milk. He would just eat the cereal with his hands. Finishing the box.
We do what we got to do, right? We do what we got to do to find a balance. We have to enjoy life, but we have to make sure that they're taken care of, right?
Yes. And all the while, you're never really sleeping, right? You hear the cartoon, every little noise, you hear everything. You're never really sleeping, right?
Right, but at least you're laying down,
Let me tell you, I turned on YouTube last night. Talk about spiritual energy. I turned on YouTube last night, and YouTube has, for the whole time I had this TV, which has been a while now, over 6 months, 8 months. I turn on YouTube, and it's only Tracey Brown, right? That's it. Last night, I get home, and YouTube says, which one, Tracey or Ezra?
Interesting.
With the little cartoon of a character on Ezra's face.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
That's never happened. That happens on Netflix.
Yeah.
On Netflix,
yeah.
Right? You know that.
Different accounts for
exactly.
Age group. Yeah. Age appropriate.
Set up an account for Ezra.
Wow.
All right. Whatever. I took a picture, so I'll post it in the group.
Yeah. Yeah.
So LaShonda says,
good morning, LaShonda, Janine, Magic Mermaid, Tiffany, this Concrete Rose, 08. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, how was your week? We're at the end of another week again. My goodness. I feel like the year is already flying by. I know we're still in February, but for me, every year, after March ends, then December pops up. It never fails every year, So
I thought February was slow, and yet we're at the 24th already.
Yeah, we're looking at spring now. We're looking towards spring.
I just can't wait for the clocks to go up or down, whichever way, so I can be in the same time frame as you all.
Well, here on the East, we're going to spring ahead. Right?
You're going to spring up to me.
Right.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah. This tea is so good.
So what tea are you drinking? Because I always get jealous and I always forget to ask you. What is that? That looks like it has honey in it.
Actually, no. I put raw cane sugar, and if do you notice the straw with the holes in it?
Yes,
So
yes, you can get that from
it filters
Amazon.
out. It filters out the herbs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
today I'm drinking sage, rosemary, and thyme with a little bit of ginger and a little bit of orange peel. And the reason
Okay.
why I did this blend today, I always come to my pantry, my herbal pantry, right? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, what am I going to have today? And it depends on how I'm feeling and what I'm
Yes.
looking for that day. So the
Yes.
rosemary, I'm actually drinking them for their energetic, and spiritual properties. So the
Mm-hmm.
rosemary, to open my mind, make me aware, you know, um,
Yes.
time to connect with time, T H THYME, to connect with TIME, right?
Yes. I
Like
love that.
when you have so much to do and you're having challenges managing time, um,
Mm-hmm.
that supports with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the sage is very healing on so many different levels. Ginger to give me that fire, that jump start,
Mm.
right?
Yes, I love ginger.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the orange peel for joy, right? While I'm
Oh.
doing what I'm doing, and then
Mm-hmm.
you know, collectively, they're really good for the digestive system, to name one. And we're kind of going to be talking about the digestive system today, as a matter of fact, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
What herb involves the digestive system?
Well, I'm not going to reveal it yet, but if you were listening, if anyone was listening last week, they would have an idea. But
You did, you mentioned it, but I just
well,
didn't
don't
want
go
to
back
look
to
at
your
my
notes.
notes. I
Mm-mm.
don't want to. I
Don't go
don't
back. Don't go. You don't have to.
want to.
I have to say though, this tea is really, really delicious. Really delicious. Oh
It
my
looks
god.
good.
I'm tasting everything. I'm tasting every herb, right?
Ginger,
Everything.
thyme,
Yeah.
orange peel.
Yeah. I'm tasting it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So today we're going to talk about fear.
Ah, I have it written here, and I was like, that's not the topic. I have it written.
I thought I overheard you talking about fear a little while ago, or something related to fear. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because we were
she's
talking
so high
about
maintenance.
men. We were
Mm-hmm.
talking about men, and I was like, I don't carry fear,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
navigate all my senses to get out of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm fearful, I'm giving up the ghost. You can't give up your spirit.
Right.
So,
That's right. That's
mhm,
right. So before we start, I'm going to give my disclaimer. I am not a doctor.
yes,
I am an herbalist. Um,
yes,
you know, and the information that I provide is for educational purposes only and not
hmm,
intended to diagnose anyone's condition. You know, please seek the advice of a professional healthcare person
yes,
or a qualified herbalist before taking herbs because while herbs are good, if you're on
hmm,
medication, it could be contraindicated with your medication, so it can cause problems
hmm,
or not
hmm.
allow your medication to work in the way that it should. So you should always be mindful of that and make sure that there are no contraindications that would possibly cause issues for you.
And you can only do that by telling your doctor what supplements you're taking.
Right, or speaking to an herbalist because an herbalist will, you know, if not readily known, will do the research to make sure that the herbs aren't contraindicated with the medication that you might be taking. Yeah.
Right, right.
hmm Yeah. So this is a food for thought statement. It's not an affirmation. It's not but it's something that I wrote when I was on a plant walk journey. So for about 6 months, I walked with mugwort, meaning that I let that plant teach me about myself and teach me about what its purpose is without doing any research. We were not allowed to do research. We had to let the plant speak to us and let us know,
I
right?
love that.
So,
Yeah.
what I came to the end of that journey with is I am so much more than you see. I am all the things that made me be: challenges, wins, losses, successes, lessons learned, sadness, disappointment, joy, acceptance, love, divine femininity. So, what does that mean to you guys out there? I am all the things that made me be, because we are who we are because of our life experiences, good,
Yeah.
bad, or indifference.
Right.
You agree? Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Hmm. So, um, just know that who we are today, or who we aspire to be, but are afraid to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have the right to be, and we should embrace it. And what do I always say? If we see something that we don't like, we discover something that we don't like,
Mm-hmm.
we have free will to make the shift.
To not
We
like
have,
it. Right.
yeah, to change it. We can do
Real
it.
simple. Yeah.
It's so
So
simple.
simple.
We don't need anyone's permission. And a lot of times we live in that. Um, we're not thinking
Permission
about it
phase.
consciously, but we're living in thinking that we need everyone's permission to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we don't.
Yeah.
And it's a journey to get there, and sometimes an ongoing journey. But
Mm.
once we're aware, we can catch ourselves and shift.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't like to use the word change too much, as you know, because I believe that we are who we are because it's in alignment with our destiny. Our experiences happen because it's somehow in alignment with our destiny, good, bad, or indifference. The key
Right.
is in the lessons, looking for the lessons, no matter
Right.
how bad they may be. Always look for the lessons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, is that in alignment with fear? In a way, because again, if we are afraid to be who we are,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's fear,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Hmm.
Yeah.
It's all about the journey, Magical Mermaid says. It's all about.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So, as we discussed last week, our emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Feelings, um, the energetics of those are stored in various parts of our body. So last week
Yes.
we spoke about anger, right?
Yeah.
Which is stored in the liver,
Mm.
right? Um, and that's the digestive system, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's part
Mm-hmm.
of the digestive system, right?
Right.
So fear also is another energy that's stored in the digestive system, which is the kidney,
Oh.
right? Um, it's stored in the kidney. Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So just imagine. Remember the question that I asked at the beginning of the year to the group?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, not that one. Maybe towards the end of the year, or in the fall. If
Right.
nothing was a consideration, what would you do if you didn't have to consider, oh, I don't have, babysitter for the kids, or oh, I don't have enough money, or oh, people won't like it, whatever. If nothing was a consideration, what would you do? What would
Hold
you
on.
want to do?
Hold on, Ifae. If
Mhm.
nothing was a consideration, what would you do? What would you be?
Yeah,
What
who would you be?
answer
What would you want to
answer the
attain?
question,
Yeah.
guys.
Hmm.
Answer the question. It's a consideration that everyone should start actualizing, but let's do it
Hmm.
let's by talking about it. And
Hmm.
also, if you're watching later, put down in the comments what that would look like to you, because this is really food for thought. Magic Mermaid says, thank you for that question. Yes, because it's food for thought. If nothing was a consideration, nothing was a consideration.
Right. You don't have to think about anything. All lights are
Anything.
green. All the lights are green. The road
There.
is open. It's far and
Mm-hmm,
wide. The sun
mm-hmm,
is shining. What would
mm-hmm,
you do? Who would you
mm-hmm.
be? What are those dreams? What are those hopes?
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Let's answer that
Yeah.
question and
Mm-hmm.
think far and wide. Like imagine, envision. And if you're watching right now, answer the question. I know because we've already done this as a practice in book club. Stephen goes, you. Yes. Yes. I love that. And you can be her, by the way, right?
Because we
Skill set
all
is not unique. We
just
need more
know.
men in the metaphysical world.
Yeah. And just know that, I'm flattered with that. Thank you, Stephen. But
That's a good
just
answer.
know that each one of us is a gift. I'm not just saying that. We
Right.
all came here with a purpose and we all
Right.
bring something to the table. It's like going to, I don't even want to call it a potluck, right? But going to a gathering where everyone is bringing something and they're placing it on the table. And it just
Right.
looks so beautiful when you look at that table, the diverse of contributions, right?
That's right.
Diversities of contribution it just looks so beautiful because
It does.
everything that everyone added towards that beauty, created
Mm.
that bouquet, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
just know that whoever you are, you were made to be. Sometimes we might fall off track with it or we might question it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if nothing was a consideration, who would you be? What would you do? Because that is who you are. That is
Well,
who
look
you
at
are. That is what would lead you to where you're supposed to be, right?
that's what the question is opening up for you. Right.
I would be background singer and world traveler. I would get up and dress however I felt that day with no restrictions. I would be my
Right.
highest and truest self in the world. That's right. As a result of being the background singer,
Yeah.
being the world traveler, dressing how you want with no
Mm-hmm.
restrictions, yes, it will make you become your best and truest and highest self. Absolutely.
So I don't know
So,
what you do for a living, Denver, but I do feel some other restrictions in that statement, right?
is that
So
corporate America?
I feel like, yes. So we can start with your days off and dressing any way you want. One of my favorite people is Erica Badu.
Oh, yes. She was on the Breakfast Club a few days ago.
Oh, I missed
Check
it. I
out,
gotta look it up.
check out the interview. And also on Tamron Hall last week. Great interview. Really,
I'll
really
look at both of them. But what I like about
good.
her,
Hmm.
go ahead, what were you gonna say? I
No,
don't
and
want you
she
to lose
did
your
both
thought.
of them with different energy. If you look at the interview with Tamron versus
Interesting.
at the Breakfast Club, but both just as powerful. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
and
what she exudes.
you can definitely tell the difference of the energies that she showed up with for each interview.
Yeah. So I just want to offer up like the smallest part of your desire, the smallest part is to dress however I felt that day with no restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
You got a couple of days off, at least one good day.
Mm-hmm.
Choose that day to dress any way you want with no restrictions. You can start out in the house
Mm-hmm.
and you can later venture out. And remember, I came on the video with, some African makeup. It was right after seeing Woman King. Woman is King. I was so inspired by the makeup that I put on makeup, and it seems quirky. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Right? And I just did it. So I just want to offer up to Denver. You can start small.
Yeah. So Denver, I worked in corporate America for many years. In my last position before I transitioned out, I was a global vice president at an investment firm. And on the weekend, if they were to see me on the street on the weekend, they would pass me straight. They wouldn't even recognize me.
They wouldn't recognize you.
Because on the weekend was when I was myself. And I get it. And that was part of the struggle as I developed and grew more spiritually. It became a conflict. The restriction, right? And I get why we have to show up a certain way, right? And at work and whatever. I get that. So I'm not,
against it, right? It's okay.
It. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And when we are not able to be ourselves, wow, we feel stifled, we feel restricted, we're just
frustrated,
not
happy.
Right. So yeah. So it's important to be ourselves.
To start
right?
reinvesting in that small part of you that gets to do it on your day off. And dress any old way. That means leave your hair out wild. Put a dot on your forehead. Put a little crystal on your forehead that can, stick there, right? Makeup glue.
To do. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, be that.
Wear an elaborate color, right?
Yeah.
Wear the bright orange, the purples, the yellows, right? Choose one day to be the new you that was always originally you.
Yes. After transitioning out of corporate America and just being able to be me, wearing my head wraps, I'm actually, as you know, I'm locking my hair,
No one knows this yet. I know.
Right. All of these things, wearing what I want to wear, the jewelry, the whatever, and just
your
being
beads,
able to
your beads, show your beads, everything. Yes.
To do that every day, there's nothing more freeing.
You know what?
There's
even
nothing
just
more
having
freeing.
your beads underneath your outfit, right? Because it looks like a necklace, right?
Yeah.
Even wearing your beads underneath your outfits when you go to work. All of that is the beginning of structural changes.
I used to have a chain link, an actual chain link, metal chain link on my ankle, right? Because don't want to veer too far, but it was for stability and grounding associated with Ogun, right? And but it was a pretty big chain link, it stood out, and
it's obvious.
They would be talking to me and looking like this. It's like it was always there. First of all, it was apparent that I was different.
Yeah.
It was so apparent that I was different, right? Than most. And that's also something that I had to come to terms with, right? Because we can have a fear of showing up as our authentic selves, right?
Or if you've never had permission, if church stopped you, if the educational system stopped you,
your parents, your family, your friends, anything.
You don't know what your authentic self is.
Right.
So you would have fear because you've never vested. Right? And some of us, depending upon the culture, we couldn't even invest as children.
Yeah. Yeah.
You couldn't
Mm-hmm.
believe that there was a magical world out there for some African children,
Mm-hmm.
African American children.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
would be
Yeah.
silly or looked at as silly.
Mm-hmm. So what are the things that our fear might tell us? It might say, I can't. That's too hard. Keep yourself small. Don't make any waves. Right? Be quiet. Stay at the back of the room. Right? You're not good enough. You're too
Mhm.
fat. You're too old. You're too black. You're too ghetto. Right?
I hate that. Can we pause for a minute? Could we
Mm-hmm.
pause?
Well, let me finish the list and then we'll, because I don't want
I'll
to.
write it down. I will write it down.
It's too late. You're starting this thing too late in life. Who does that, right? You know,
Mm.
you should feel guilty. You want to spend time to yourself. How dare you? So how dare you?
Right.
So you want to spend time to yourself, be quiet about it. Figure it out somewhere. But how dare you, say that
Want
you want
time
to,
to
yeah.
yourself.
hmm You know, fear tells you to be quiet, right? You
Mm-mm.
don't deserve to be here. You know,
Mm-mm.
um, you have this position or whatever on your job. You don't deserve that, right? You know, you will be rejected if you do that. No one's going to support you, and you're going to be out there all by yourself.
You'll never get married if you don't
You will
act a certain
you'll
way.
fail. So, what are the things fear tells you? Go ahead, Tracy.
Oh, I was
hmm
saying one of my pet peeves
hmm
is to tell someone that is so ghetto. That's a pet peeve
Yeah.
because at least the ghetto acknowledge some sense of independence,
hmm hmm hmm
however way that shows up. If it's
hmm
loud and that's
hmm
so ghetto, at least they express loud.
Right. Right. You know.
If it's
Ma-
flamboyant in their dressing, right? At least they can express it. So
Yeah.
you don't get to say
Purple
something
here,
ghetto.
blue here, pink here, whatever. It's just an expression. What is it taken away from you when people are expressing themselves? Right?
Exactly.
hmm
If anything, I love the ghetto, like, which is a bad word, but the freedom that comes with being ghetto.
Oh,
Don't put that down. But
hmm
people use it as a way to stop you
Yeah. Yeah. They
from
do.
from your authentic self.
Yeah.
Oh, you're loud. You're so ghetto.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No. No, I
hmm
don't accept that into my life.
So, Magic Mermaid is saying family can often be our number one obstacles.
Yes.
And guess what? They don't always mean us ill. Sometimes they
Mm-hmm.
mean us well. But you know what
Interesting.
happens? Sometimes they're transferring their own fears onto us. Are you
Yes.
sure? But you're in a stable job. You said you like your manager. You said you like your job. Why do you want to leave?
Right.
Are you sure you want to do that? So now,
Yes.
if we're not sure about ourselves,
Yes.
now we're
Yes.
we're not sure about our decision.
Yes.
And now
Right.
we're afraid, right? Because we're afraid of possibly hearing, I told you so. I told you so. You should have stayed where you.
Right. 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 You know, on Real Housewives of Potomac, Wendy Osefo went through that. She came through with 4 degrees and CNN correspondence and professor at a university. And the next season, she wanted to sell candles
And show her breasts.
and show her breasts, and no one would allow her.
And think about the courage that she
That's
had to
right.
find
That's
in
right.
spite of it,
Mm-hmm.
to rise above fear and be
Mm-hmm.
herself, fight for herself. When she came on this season,
Publicly.
that was no longer a topic.
It wasn't. Not one time. Not one
Does
time
she
was it a
still have
topic.
friends? Yes. Does she still have love in her life? Yes. Does she still have family Yes. Right? Does she still have support? Yes.
Right. But she
You know,
freed herself.
she freed herself. A lot of times
Right.
we're afraid of rejection. But do you really want someone in your life that's not allowing you to be you?
Mm.
And with all the gazillion of people in this world, do you not think that you would be placed in alignment with people who support you?
Mhm. Right.
It might not be that person, but it'll be someone else who uplifts your life, who
Yeah.
helps you to hold your head up, hold your head held high, who
Yes.
allows you to be you.
Yes.
So sometimes fear is what? False evidence appearing real. Because
False
with false
evidence
evidence,
appearing real.
because we're assuming the outcome and not actually
Mm.
living the outcome. Not actually living the actual outcome, right?
Right.
And so what? If it means that we have to, be distant from some people, then that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
False
Yeah.
evidence appearing real,
I love
fair,
that.
right? And that's a very common statement, very known statement to a lot of people. False
And I
appear.
just want to go back to Denver where she says, yes, I have locks and tattoos. So she's already begun the individual person, maybe a little bit more expression now that you've
Mm-hmm.
experienced locking and that you've experienced, of course,
Mm-hmm.
tattoos. That's just the thing. But now let's have more expression on the weekend. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
go all out.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. So just keep in mind that the decisions that we make come from a place of fear. A job that you're qualified for, but the
Mm,
voice and noise of fear is saying to you, you won't get it. They won't hire you.
right.
You remember you had that tattoo on your neck, right? Your hair is locked, right? You know, you don't have your master's degree. You
Mm,
don't have your bachelor's degree.
mm,
You're not qualified. So guess what? The
yes.
decision you make now is that I'm not going to apply for that job.
Or you go in failing,
No,
improving.
so
Or you go
no,
in
but
failing, improving that you can't get the job.
no. Some people might not even go in
Mm,
because fear has now controlled.
stop them.
Yeah,
Got it. Mm-hmm.
have
Got it.
taken control, right?
Mm-hmm.
So their
Mm-hmm.
decision to not go in
Mm,
was based on fear.
mm, right.
Now, fear is a good thing to have,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's how we navigate it. That's the key. Because
Yes.
without fear, people would be getting killed out there, walking out into the street with the cars coming, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That fear tells us, okay, keep yourself safe. So look to
Right.
the left, look to the right, make sure that the streets are clear before you cross the
Right.
street, right?
Right. Right. Right.
So that type of fear is needed, right?
Right. Right.
It keeps children in line sometimes. The fear of being reprimanded by their parents. They won't do
Mm,
certain things. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, but in terms of being
Mm-hmm.
as an adult and just
Mm,
how you see yourself, because if you see
mm-hmm.
yourself as unqualified, then there are certain jobs or positions that you will not apply for
Never go
because
after.
the fear of rejection, right? That you
Yeah.
will be told you're not good enough. You don't have enough, credentials, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes we tell ourselves that, and those are lies because it's so untrue.
Mm,
But that's how we see ourselves,
yeah.
right? So no matter
Mm,
what anyone says to us, that's what we believe. Again, that's why it's important. You feel what you feel, you attract. Certainly, because you manifest it, right? And
mm.
in a way, you're manifesting it. So that person who, because of fear and all the reasons in their head as to why they can't apply for that job, right? So now that job, which would bring you bigger income, that would make you have access to more things, you have now denied yourself of it because of fear. So you have manifested that through your actions.
Right.
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 Yeah. You know, this can go deep. This is just surface. Anyone that comes to Tracey's retreat, whenever it's
In August.
yeah, whenever it's coordinated, you know, we can go deeper than that. But
Because she's going to be one of the facilitators. All right. She's going to have her classes. All right, guys. Ifae will.
Yeah. So that fear can keep us back. It can keep us stagnant and stuck. It's like you want to go there, but you're scared.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it can also diminish your voice because you want to say what's on your mind, but you're afraid of the backlash. So you quiet your voice. And you feel it here. You feel that energy here. You want to say something and you just can't. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Can I just point out that was one of the things that was mentioned? That's how we got on I Have No Fear. Because somebody else mentioned, like, nope, I'm paraphrasing, so forgive me, everyone. But they mentioned in the feed, like, I would have just walked away.
Yeah.
Right? And the way she said it was for safety purposes. And I get that because I was talking about a date that I had earlier. And I get that. But whether it's a romantic relationship or a date, like there has to be a time and place within that space where you let someone know your behavior is unacceptable to me. Just walking away doesn't teach the other person what went wrong.
It doesn't teach the other person, and it quiets your voice.
Quiet your voice. That was my point, and I didn't get there.
Voice, right?
And you don't have to keep your voice quiet. At some place, when you're safe enough, you have to say, it could be in the form of a text message, but you have to say, your behavior was unacceptable and is not to be tolerated. And I will not invest in someone that thinks it's okay to treat me this way. So, which is what I had to say to my date. I said it to his face because, you know, I'm a little bolder.
Yeah. So I was on a journey in 2020. Right? Now, anyone that knows me would say, oh, she speaks her mind. She says what's on her mind. No, we don't say everything that's on our mind. We really don't. Even the most outspoken person does not say everything that's on their mind. Right? And there came a part of that journey where I needed to use my voice. I needed to have conversations with people. And that was the most painful part of the journey because I wouldn't use my voice. I thought I was going to lose my mind because my spirit, because I'd been doing the work, right? So now I have to put up, right? I have to, right? And in order to carry it through, I had to do what I know that I needed to do. Yeah. And of course, I did it eventually. And guess what? That's when I started seeing light at the end of the tunnel. I needed to use through. Yes. Yes. And and
there's a way effectively to speak up for yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to yell and scream. No. So this is why you go through the healing, right? So that when you speak and you speak frankly, right? Assertively, and it could be in a calm voice just like this.
It could be, which is actually more effective, lowering your tone.
Because then you have their ear. You can, so it doesn't have to be an escalated sound, you know, coming from your mouth. But being able to do that, a lot shifted. A lot shifted. And so even now, you know, when I know I need to have a discussion, I have the discussion. I think about it and how I'm going to approach it. But I know that if I don't get that energy out of my body, it's not going to be good for me, and it's not going to be good for anyone.
Yeah.
Because I'll be showing up with anger, right? We spoke about anger last week.
Yes.
And resentment, right?
Yes.
I caught the tea. Hey, Sky, how are you? hmm Yeah. So, so fear can diminish our voice, and we don't want that. We want to be able to use our voice. We want to express how we feel. You know, just imagine someone or some people making you feel as though you can't say, okay, I feel angry today, or I'm upset today, or I don't like
Right.
what you did. But meanwhile, they think it's okay to tell you that you shouldn't say anything. They feel free. They're using their voice to tell
Well,
you what
why didn't you, when something goes wrong, well, why didn't you say anything? It's like the permission wasn't there before. Now I've lost it.
they well, the thing is, we don't need anyone's permission.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying
Yeah,
in
I get it.
terms
I
of
get it.
why didn't
Because
you say anything before?
sometimes we don't realize that we think that we need someone's permission, and we don't,
Right.
you know? Yeah.
Right.
So, and the fear of failure, that's a big thing for everyone. You don't want,
Yeah.
fear of failure. When you think about fear of failure, think about it for a minute here.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually having a fear of judgment, right? People laughing at you. People saying, "I told you so." So people say, "Well, she shouldn't have done that." Well, that's what she get when she or he gets if he thinks that he can do anything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the failure is attached. It's possibly attached. The fear of failure is possibly attached to the fear of judgment of others and even ourselves, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
hmm
Brandy says yes.
hmm hmm
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But I say, when it comes to fear, or if you won't, and this is something that stays with us for a lifetime, right? Some people are better at it than others. Some people will see that fear and say, okay, not today, move to the left or whatever, wherever, but I'm moving
Yes.
forward. Some
Yes.
people have the courage and have developed the courage to do that in spite of fear, because that's the thing, in spite of, fear will always be there, you know?
Absolutely.
Um, yeah. So
Absolutely.
just being able to fear, face everything and rise. So you're seeing it, you're recognizing it, you're acknowledging it, but you're not giving it life so that you can rise,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, think about the do a time check here. Just think about the things that you might not be able to tackle every fear that you have, right? This is not what this conversation is about, but it's about to
Right.
stir some thoughts, to stir something within everyone.
To stir some courage in some
Yeah,
area of your life.
yeah, what
Mm-hmm.
really and truly, I always wanted to vent. I like to bake pastries and I wanted to vent, but I'm always thinking, well, are people going to like it? Are people going to buy it? Well, just do it. You'll never know until you try it. And guess what? If you vent one day and you take all those pastries out there and you don't sell it out, you have pastries you can give away as gift, right? But you try. What
Yeah.
if? We
Yeah.
always think about what if I fail? What if you succeed?
Oh. Oh, that feels so much better. Imagine that.
What if you succeed?
Oh, that
Keep,
perked me right up. Yes.
keeping that gift to yourself You'll never know. You'll never know until you actually put yourself out there. And again, this is a work in progress. You know, I deal with fears all the time,
All the
but I'm
time.
aware of them, and that way I
Yeah.
can work on them.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is
Sky says,
those thoughts.
beautiful conundrum says, this is a word. No fear.
Mm-hmm.
Or the way you put it,
Mm-hmm.
face everything and rise.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I just wanted to add, hi, Harry. I just wanted to add that every Saturday when I read the book, Conversations with God, every Saturday I carry fear. Every Saturday. I have such concerns that am I reading what I can convey? Will I sound stupid? Will I sound uneducated? Will I sound inadequate? Because, by the way, the people that watch me
Mm-hmm.
are highly educated people. So am I going to be able to get through spiritually?
Mm-hmm.
And so all I do every single Saturday is pray.
It's
I
you know,
pray
it's,
for wisdom.
yeah, you know, that emotion is a part of us, but we get to decide how much power that emotion has over us.
Right.
We get to decide, you know, you know, and failure. I think it's a big thing. It's a big stop sign. Fear of failure is a big stop sign for a lot of us because, you know, we were conditioned to believe failure means you're no good, you're not good enough. You know, we associate it with all those things, right? But think about all these successful people in business and wherever. We know about them because of their successes. We don't know how many times they have failed when they started their journey.
Right.
We don't know how many times, right? You know, as they became better at what they were doing, you know, they became more known because they were growing and expanding. But you know, every successful person doesn't have 100% successes along the journey. Follow your own voice. Never allow anyone's voice to become louder than your own. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
And
just wanted to.
that doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to mentors, people who have certain experiences and things like that.
Please
But
do.
yeah, but yeah,
And yet still carry your own path.
yeah,
Because people are not there for you to engage in a path that they want you to have.
right. And that's what
They are
happens a lot of
there to
times.
assist you. But
Hmm.
you have to decide, especially when it's parental care, you have to, like before I got into the psychic work, my mama begged me. She's like, Tracy, please, please don't. Because she had the gift drove her crazy. And
So
so
she
when
was transferring her fears
she
onto
was
you.
transferring her fear. And I
So she
said
had
to
good
her,
intention. She did not have ill intention.
absolutely,
She had good intention. So be clear again. It's not every
yes,
time someone's trying to talk you out of something, it's because they don't want to
no.
see you succeed.
But
It's
by the
fear.
time
A lot of
I
times fear is
discovered
involved.
the gift, I was already making candles. And I
Hmm.
said to my mom, I got this. That's all I said. I didn't know where I was going with it. I hadn't become a psychic yet. I just said, I got this. And it wasn't a question anymore. Like she saw the seriousness in my direction, I would assume, but she never bothered me after that.
Hmm.
She
Hmm.
never hounded me. But a lot of people get hounded and hounded and hounded
Hmm.
until you
Hmm.
do it their way.
Yeah.
But I
Hmm.
can tell you something else. Had I stayed married to my husband, I would not be here.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. All things in divine order and timing.
Yeah, I would not be here
You
had I
know,
stayed
and
married to my husband.
right. You know, and
And so, meaning the divorce had to happen for
Yeah.
my growth.
Hmm. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing, that happened, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, when it's time for us to be ourselves, there's certain things that has to fall off,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's it. So that being said, and speaking of anger last week, and now fear this week, and we're in the digestive system. So burdock is what I spoke of last year, last week
Burdock.
relating to anger. This week we're talking about dandelion.
That's what you said. You said
Mhm.
dandelion.
So think about what I said last week and what I just said, and just put in those two energies together, the energy of burdock and dandelion. Burdock helps you to root up that anger, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That deep buried anger that could stem for years, that you haven't even thought about it, as being with you for that long, and also dandelion, which um, energetically and spiritually, it helps to move stagnation, the stuck, right? I want to
Oh.
do that, but I don't know. So now you're stuck. It's like, so it helps to move stagnation, right? So whether it's grief and you just can't move through grief, whether it's moving through anger and you just can't move the anger. So while the burdock is pulling it up, dandelion is helping you to move through that, to move that out of your being, your
Yeah.
body, right?
Yeah.
And also, dandelion helps us to find our voice. And when
Mm.
you look at the dandelion leaf, right, it's jagged at the edge, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so we will find our voice. It may come out a little rough in the beginning.
Mm.
We might be a little, you know,
Uncomfortable. Right.
but it might come out like a little aggressive. But so it might take us from one extreme of quiet to like this roaring lion, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
eventually we'll find that medium, right? Because
Yeah.
there's so much that we might have been quieted about, right? That it just wants to get out. So however it gets out, right? And then you can balance that, right? So it does make you express what your needs are. I need you to respect me. I need you to respect my decision. You know,
That's right.
this is what I need. I need quiet time right
Yes.
now. I need quiet time.
Yes.
No, I can't help you with this right now. Maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Today, I'm focusing
No.
on
Yeah.
XYZ. I can't do it today,
Yeah.
right? So even the energy in which you deliver that, you know,
Can
as
change.
opposed to, no, I can. And this is when people say, come on, why can't you do it? Right? No, as opposed to, sorry, not today, tomorrow, right? So it shifts your way of being as well, because when we are able to use our voice naturally, there's going to be a shift in our way of being, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Because if we can't express ourselves, we're going to be angry, we can become resentful. So again,
Right.
this is your digestive system, this is where your gut is, this is where you have the guts or the gall, right? To say this
Right.
or to do that. That's all of that. That's that part of your body, right? And so with help finding our voice, then we're also finding that the gut and the gall, as in the gallbladder, is also it's
Mm.
also fear is also the gall is all that energy is also stored in the gallbladder as well. And you want to have gall. Sometimes we need gall, the
Yeah.
goal to do something, the goal to apply for that job, even though I don't, have all of the the credentials that the job is calling for, but I know I can do it. And if I get in front of that interviewer, I know that that interviewer will know that I can do it, right? That's gall.
Yes.
That's gall pushing fear aside and saying, what do I have to lose? If they say no, then it's no. Okay. But what do I have to lose? What about if I get it? What about if they say yes?
And just to add to that, a lot of people are trying to start their own businesses with some great ideas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Get the courage to begin something.
Yeah. So in terms of physical healing, just some of the indication for dandelion is, it supports with jaundice, with liver congestion. So you see how energetically it moves stagnation, right? So physically, it supports with liver congestion, cirrhosis of the liver, hepatitis, blood disorders, eczema, right? Psoriasis, rheumatism, inflammation, right? So just some of those things you can transfer from an energetic level and see how fear can cause those things for us, right? So for example, again, liver congestion and that stagnation that it brings, right? Because if your liver is congested, it's not functioning the way it's supposed to, right? It's kind of like it's kind of like stuck. The process is kind of stuck, right? So we can be stuck through fear. It can put us in a position of stagnation, right? And also, and so that's the roots. The leaves are good for anemia, water retention, as well, because it's a diuretic. It's a laxative, it's a tonic, it's a bitter. It's not, dandelion itself doesn't taste bitter, but it's a bitter in the sense of, back in the days, people would, after dinner, they would have like bitters. They would drink some type of bitters because that helps with the digestive system help to digest your food. So like before and after eating, having a bitter, especially a big meal, it really supports your digestive system with digesting your food. So dandelion has that property. Though it's not a bitter, it functions the way bitter things, functions in your body. Yeah. So, the only thing in terms of contraindications, if you have like cancer of the bile duct or like acute stomach inflammation or blockage in the bile duct, you shouldn't use dandelion.
Like even if you have undiagnosed Crohn's disease, do you think, or?
Well, undiagnosed, it should be diagnosed.
Well, people are running around with Crohn's disease and don't know it.
Yeah. It should first be, diagnosed. Yeah.
Okay. But if you have Crohn's disease?
Crohn's disease is not indicated here, so that's a contraindication. But so again, this is why you would still check with a qualified herbalist, because if they don't know right off the bat, they will do the research, to let you know.
Right.
Yeah. So how's everyone feeling about today's conversation around fear?
Good.
Yeah. So this is why. So the release tincture that I make, right? It's a combination of the dandelion and the burdock, and some other herbs as well, so that they can work together.
I've got no more left. This is the release, everyone. And I have to should I take a break? I think I've been on it for 6 months now.
No, it's not 6 months. Is it 6 months? No, it's not 6 months.
But this, I think this is my second bottle.
Is it? I'll check the
The day,
the sale. Yeah. Yeah.
but I do swallow it. Like I'm like
Yeah.
anger, 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 anger.
Yeah.
Oh,
But remember, it also the physical, beneficial benefits to it as well, right?
I do
Hmm.
take it three
So it's a,
times a day.
it's a
So
blood cleanser. It's a liver detoxifier.
mhm.
So yeah. So while you're working on the physical aspects of your digestive system, then you also want to work on some energetic or spiritual aspects as well.
Let me take some for my date last night. It was a date from hell.
Yeah. So I do have the singles. So I have the
I need more.
dandelion tincture, I have the burdock tincture, but I also have a blend of the two, which I really like. I'm back on it. I take it and then I for like 2 to 3 months, and then I'll take a break, and then if I feel I need to take it again, then I start back taking it. In doing this, you get to know your body and what your body needs. you know yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about, if you're arguing or if you're eating while you're arguing, or you're eating while you're upset, you're feeling it all here. The food isn't
You
sitting right.
do. Oh
You
my
feel
God.
uncomfortable,
Feel it in your
because
gut.
it's impacting your digestive system. Whether you have that feeling of anger, you're afraid of something, um, yeah, you're anxiously waiting for news, and so you're scared, yeah. If you try to eat, it's going to affect that. And this is why a lot of time we lose our appetite. Think about it, right? When we're anxious about something, it's like, I can't eat right now. I can't eat right now. Right? Hmm.
You know, food, no one can separate me from food. Upset me, and I can't. Right here, it just stops.
And that's when
So,
I knew that I had to work on my anger, work on releasing certain things, because if I was to get into an argument with someone, it had gotten to the point where I would be sick for days. I
yeah,
would be physically sick for days.
yeah,
So I had to be able to say what I want to say,
right.
so that that stuff isn't stored, because a lot of times you're
Yes.
arguing, screaming to the top of your lungs, you're going back and forth, but you're still not saying what you want to say.
Oh, I know.
You're still
Right.
not saying what you actually really want to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just
Mhm.
say, Celestial says, I just made it here, so I'm looking forward to the replay. Magic Mermaid says, it's absolutely the best, right? Denver says, thank you, Denver, for being so open with us today. It was great. I like that you talked about being fearful of the good and the bad outcomes. What if they say yes? Was it for me? Yes. Lottie says, oh, Lottie's adorable. She's like, Tracy, it's good to see you embracing your self care, if not Prince Charming yet, sweetheart.
I love that.
That's adorable, Lottie. Thank you. Lottie
Mhm.
says, yes, it was very helpful. And Atia says, exactly, but I can't get you, Atia. For some reason, I can't press you, but she says, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
So that's
Priestess,
my message for today. Hmm.
Priestess Ifae, you're dropping bombs.
Hmm. Thank
Because
you.
I don't think people understand, and we are entering into a huge metaphysical existence. This is the new age, but we'll talk about that another day. We're
Hmm.
entering into a huge metaphysical existence.
Hmm.
You can't carry the bullshit that you have been running around with for years. It's got to get released because this new world doesn't embrace
Hmm.
anger,
Yeah.
inadequacy, fear. It wants you to come as you are better. than
Yeah.
you ever were before.
Mm-hmm. Well,
This
thank
world doesn't want
you.
to change you.
Yeah.
It wants to magnify that inner person that's been doused.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also just keep in mind this is always going to be a work in progress, right? And
Yes,
always give yourself grace.
Grace. I love
All
Grace. I love her.
always,
If you think of Grace as an entity, as a,
you know,
like
invite
energy,
grace into
yes,
everything that you
everything,
do.
yes.
Everything that you do, you know. Yeah.
Fear is not allowed. I think Sky said something about fear, but
No, she wrote what I said.
she
Face
wrote what
everything
you
and
said.
rise. Yeah. Face
Face
everything.
everything and what?
And rise.
And rise. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ah, I am at peace today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at peace.
So, and I want you guys to know, I really appreciate the feedback, and because it helps me to know it's not like it's boosting my ego, but it helps me to know, right, that I am successfully doing the work of my heart.
Yes.
This is the this is my desire, healing, right? Through conversations,
Yeah.
through herbalism, through
Yes.
coaching, mentoring. This
Yes.
is me, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that really, really helps me. Really helps me because, as Tracy says, every Saturday she goes on with this fear of whatever, right? The list of fear can be so long, right?
Hmm.
Same with me.
Yeah. I
So
understand
just
that.
know you're looking at a whole person,
Yeah. That
but you're not looking at
acknowledges.
a perfect person,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Perfection doesn't exist. Why
We don't
chase
want
it?
we don't want to be perfect.
What we should try to be is our best and authentic self, so that we're
Yeah.
comfortable in the body that we're living in. Mhm. Yeah.
So Celestial says, Priestess Ifae, your work got me the results I've been waiting
Oh,
for 4 months.
wow.
And Beautiful Conundrum says, say it again for the people in the back of the bus. Give grace to yourself and others. Good point. Black Pearl says, thank you, Priestess Ifae.
Mm-hmm.
And Lottie says, it's an extra beauty you're sharing with us, Priestess. Thanks, sweetheart.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah.
I love this. And I'm getting so accustomed
Mm-hmm.
to the word from Priestess Ifae.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
herb. I'm getting accustomed to the herb from Priestess Ifae. the the right? The herb with the priestess. The priestess with no, or the herb. It doesn't matter. I'm always trying to find something.
A catchphrase, right?
A catchphrase always.
Mhm.
Priestess Ifae, thank you. But before you go,
Mhm.
I just want to remind everyone that a lot of you are really missing out on her classes. The OSHUN class was amazing. I have never identified with OSHUN. I have never wanted to identify with OSHUN ever. I figured I'd leave OSHUN to the others, those that feel that they belong to OSHUN. I'm like so
Mhm.
happy for them.
Mhm.
Oh
Mhm.
my God, how
Mhm.
dare I acknowledge that a lot of what OSHUN is a lot of who I am.
Yeah.
And it was just so welcoming to receive an education on her that felt right. Because what I'm getting from the books, mm-mm.
And it's not even so much right, but it went deeper, right? Most people, I would say that knows of Oshun in some way would mainly focused on her beauty and her sensuality and the sexiness, and but as you learned, Oshun is much more than that, right? And
Yes,
not
it's not enough that she's
yeah,
sexy.
right. Hmm. Hmm.
And no one understands the power
Hmm.
that she has come through with the others,
Yeah.
with the other deities.
Hmm.
No one understands that.
Hmm.
And that it was mandated that she be respected and listened to.
Hmm.
I'm loving it. I'm loving your classes. So with that being said, your next class is going to be on what topic?
I'm thinking Ori, which is our head, right? This is, following your head, your spiritual head, right?
Yes.
But not sure. Could also be Eshu. So
Oh,
yeah, I haven't decided yet.
I
Hmm.
love Eshu. I love him.
Hmm.
I love him.
Hmm. Because our spiritual head is tied to our destiny. We want to make the right decisions to get to that end point. We all have a destiny, all of us.
All
There's
of
not
us.
one of us without it, right? And sometimes we go through horrible things, but
Yes.
they are in alignment. Those experiences could very well be in alignment with our destiny. Sometimes
Yes.
we go through horrible things and they're not in alignment, but just know, just because things are we're experiencing not so great things, it doesn't mean that we're not in alignment with our destiny.
So
Yeah.
I just want to add that your joy of teaching shows on both of your faces. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I really
Thank you.
do
Hmm.
love what I do.
Hmm.
Lashonda says, and how are you doing, Lashonda? Lashonda says, I love it. You and Dory have so much wisdom. I'm at peace too. Thank you. And that's what we're giving off, right? We're exhuming peace so that
Hmm.
you can be at peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Lottie says, I would love that. I'm so confused with computing. Well, Lottie, DM me and we can figure it out. Celestial says, I definitely let social media incorrectly defined OSHUN for me. Class was excellent.
Mhm.
Beautiful Conundrum says, I missed it, but you never miss anything, Beautiful Conundrum. You're inside. You're inside. So you will never miss anything. In any case, I have a reading to do, Ifae. I better get going.
Okay. Have a
Even though it's
great
hard
weekend,
to
everyone.
release you. It's hard to release you.
Oh, I'll be back again.
You will. You
Hmm.
will. You'll be
Yeah.
back again here. You'll be back doing your classes. You're always here. And I just want to tell everyone, when someone comes to you, look at the grace that the person comes to you with, because there is something you're getting from it, right? We may not always be around. And I mean that in such a way, sometimes we might have to go off and grow. But at
Right.
least the deposits that we're leaving
Hmm.
deposits with you.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So while you have us, join us.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because we want to leave behind a healthy of generations. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, Tracy and Priestess Ifae. Your classes are so enlightening. You ladies are a light. A light. Thank you, Priestess.
Okay. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys. guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi.
I didn't end it.